It's been a whole month since I made one of these, so I hope I'm in frame. We're in the last week of NaNoWriMo, and this week you will be moving through 40,000 through 50,000. I'm sure all of you have been hearing really good, encouraging, positive advice and tips to write your novel. This is a video for those of you who have been dragging your feet all month. And I don't mean in terms of the amount of writing you are doing every day. I'm speaking in terms of not writing at all. Because I'm of the school of thought where as long as you write something, doesn't matter what, every day in November, you win NaNoWriMo. There is no excuse not to write every single day. But if you're having trouble writing every single day, or if you are just not satisfied with what your word count is, I'm going to give you some tips for some short-term word boosting, I guess you could call it. First of all, don't be a perfectionist, okay? You're not doing NaNoWriMo to write the perfect novel. You're doing NaNoWriMo to write. That's it. Have you ever heard of the saying, the first step on the road to recovery is admitting you have a problem? Well, the first step for being a writer is admitting that what you write will be crap the first time. Keep in mind that you will have all year to edit the crap that you are writing right now. But don't let that intimidate you into not writing. I'm writing crap, the other writer girls are writing complete crap, everyone else is. So what makes you so special that you have to write perfect writing the first time? It's impossible, so don't try. Flip side to that, my second piece of advice is to try. Try. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think about it. Did you try and sit down to write every single day this month? If you have not, you are going to. You are going to put some effort into this commitment that you made. It doesn't have to be the full 1667. It can be 10. It could be 100. It could be 10,000. It could be 1,000. As long as you write every single day, that is the purpose of NaNoWriMo. 3 would be to go see a movie or go watch a movie on Netflix. And I say movie because it is not a TV series where you have to sit and watch either 30 minutes or the whole entire series. And I say not read a book because reading a book, depending on who you are, would take more than a day. You need something to just transport your brain somewhere else, to make you forget about NaNoWriMo, work, school, what you have to do in the morning, chores. Just forget everything about everyday life for 90 minutes. Watch a movie. Number 4, I've been saying number 4 forever. You know those boring parts in books and movies that you don't know why is in there, or you don't know what the author was thinking when they wrote it, and you just flip ahead those pages? Don't do that to yourself. Get excited. Don't write anything that's boring. It's not easy to do. I will admit it. It's not easy to do. In fact, we will write things that we are just not excited about writing. I had a really hard scene to write where my MC goes through a big emotional trauma. And I'm not excited to write that kind of thing. What I am excited is to see the character growth that comes from it, to see the other characters reacting and acting and reacting to what she is going through. That is what makes me excited to write. If the scene that you're stuck in is boring, move on, or make it not boring. I want it so that when you wake up in the morning, and you think about NaNoWriMo, I want you to be excited for the scene that you are about to write. I want every single scene to be something you look forward to writing. Number 5 is something that I use because I am very bad at focusing for more than 5 minutes on a stretch of writing, and it's writeordie.com. I'm also not good at reward system this month. I do much better when it comes to punishments. And Write or Die is not only really good at keeping my focus because it will delete words if I don't write, but it is also the perfect motivator because I hate losing work. I hate it. It's the worst feeling that you can ever feel as a writer. So Write or Die really makes me focus, and I can write for long stretches of time for a lot of words, so I would definitely recommend that. On the flip side, if you do better with a reward system and not so much punishment, I would try writtenkitten.com. So number 6 is something that you can do as you're writing. It's a good info dump, and you can easily take it out when you're editing later. Make your characters reflect. Make the narrator have some reflection. Think about what's going on in the scene and just write out every single thought possible that has to do with your character. It's probably not what you should do when you're editing. When you're editing, you should cut everything. But this is NaNoWriMo, and you're trying to get everything down out of your head onto paper. Another good way to get more words is to write about a dream sequence. It's just a drop-in scene that you can write about. If you want, you can make it relevant to plot. It doesn't really have to be. You'll probably end up cutting it anyway when you go to edit. That's a future writer problem. That's not your problem. Your problem right now is to get the words down. Everyone has a past. Maybe your character could also have a flashback. If your main character has been to the setting before, maybe make them think about when the last time they were there and think about something that happened. Again, this is info dumping. It's also a great way to get to know your character. And like I said, in editing, you can always cut it. Making your characters banter between each other is a great way to get words, but I also find that it can be a good time for character growth if you do it right. You don't have to do it right. You can literally just have them talking about whatever, and you will have it count towards your final word count. But the few times I've done that just to get words, I found out some funny things about my characters, so I definitely recommend having them banter. Another great way to get words is to introduce a new character. You think about it, you have to introduce what they look like, how they talk, how they walk, what the character thinks about them, what they're doing in the scene. Maybe you can even do some foreshadowing. You have a lot of opportunities with the new character. Another way to get great word count is to describe everything. I'm talking Tolkien, I'm talking Chuck Palahniuk type description. Those people have amazing word counts, and it's because of their description. Another thing you will cut in editing, but again, this is so that you get everything out of your head. What color is the car? Is it 4-door? Is it 2-door? Does it have a really big trunk? Is it a hatchback? What does the engine sound like? What does it smell on the inside? Is it leather? Is it fake leather? Is it suede? Is it velvet? It probably won't feel natural to write like this, but again, you never know what you will want to keep when you're editing. My last and final piece of advice is something called elephant ipsum. You know those weird Latin words that pop up when you're trying to like test out font faces or anything else on the internet, and it's called ipsum, fastum, whatever, and it makes no sense, but it's just so that you can see what the words look like. What I do when I'm stuck on a description or stuck on a word that I don't know or I can't think of right at that moment is I substitute it with elephant. There was a scene that involved horseback riding. I did not know what type of horses they were. I didn't know if it was a mare or a stud or a gelding. I didn't know if it was chestnut, bay, dark brown. I had no idea what these horses looked like. I just replaced those words with elephant because I know later in editing I will want to research what they look like and I will put it in later to replace elephant. But for now, I know that that description needs to be there. So instead of wasting time researching for who knows how long, getting distracted on the internet, on Google, I'll just do elephant. It'll make it easier to find when I'm editing later, and by then I can spend the time that I need to look up the correct word I want to use instead of just procrastinating. So guys, as long as you're writing, that's all I really care about. Write every day. I'm going to be writing through December. I'm going to be editing all throughout next year, and I already have a new idea for next year's NaNo. So I hope everyone is at least writing every day. You don't have to get to 50,000. I'm even behind on my word count for between 90 and 100,000. I'm behind on that. But I'm still trying to write every day. So whatever your final word count, whatever you want it to be, I hope that you make it. And I hope that you get a little real with yourselves and make the effort and realize what your weakness is so that you can correct it. My weakness is distraction, procrastination, and focus. I know what I can do to prevent that, and I'm trying to do that right now. I want to say hi to all the new subscribers. I hope I did not scare you off too bad. Everyone else on this channel is super sweet. I can be sweet sometimes, but I'm mostly here this week to kick you in the ass and make sure that you don't forget why you did this in the first place, and that is to write a novel. Stop watching YouTube and go write. Bye!